Have you ever looked down at your lunch? Maybe it's a crisp salad, a slice of whole wheat toast, or a cup of low-fat fruit yogurt, and asked yourself a brutal question. I am eating so healthy, so why is my belly getting bigger? I know that frustration. You feel like you're following all the rules. You certainly aren't lazy. But the reality is, you are likely the victim of a specific type of biochemical hijacking. Here is the clearest warning sign that this hijack is happening to you right now. I want you to pay attention to how you feel at exactly 20:00 p.m. if you hit a wall at 2:30 in the afternoon, where you feel like you need another coffee or a sugary snack just to keep your eyes open. That is not normal fatigue, and it is definitely not a caffeine deficiency. That crash is your body screaming for help. It is a physiological signal that your blood sugar has plummeted, confirming that you are trapped in what we call the insulin loop, and ignoring this signal is dangerous. Because that stubborn belly fat isn't just a cosmetic annoyance. It is not just an inert storage unit for extra calories. Visceral fat is an active biological organ. It pumps out inflammatory chemicals that accelerate aging and destroy your focus. This isn't just about fitting into your old pair of jeans anymore. This is about stopping the rapid onset of metabolic syndrome and protecting your brain from cognitive decline. So, if you are tired of the 2 p.m. crash and the weight that won't budge, we need to look at the chemistry, not the calories. To understand exactly why that crash happens, we have to simplify the science. Your body is a biological machine that is designed to run on only two distinct fuel modes. Mode 1 is the fed state, where you are storing energy. Mode 2 is the fasted state, where you are burning energy. Here is the critical rule: you cannot be in both modes at the same time. You are either storing or you are burning. The master switch that flips between these two modes is a hormone called insulin. When insulin is high, which happens whenever you eat, burning fat is biochemically impossible. It simply cannot happen. Only when insulin drops low enough does the body unlock your fat stores to use them for fuel. I want you to visualize this using a specific image. Think of your fat cells as a fat storage prison. Imagine each fat cell is a tiny, cramped prison cell. When you eat carbohydrates, whether that's a bowl of sugary cereal or even a healthy bowl of oatmeal, your pancreas releases insulin. In this scenario, insulin is the prison warden. The warden's job is to shove glucose into that cell and slam the iron gate shut. As long as the warden is standing guard outside that door, not a single ounce of fat can escape to be burned for energy. It is on total lockdown. Now, here is where the healthy grazing advice backfires. If you wake up and eat toast, the warden arrives. If you have a snack 2 hours later, the warden stays on duty. If you have a sandwich for lunch and a granola bar at 3 p.m., the warden never leaves his post. You are keeping your fat cells on permanent lockdown 24 hours a day. And this brings us to the biggest deception in the grocery store. We have to separate the real science from the fake marketing. You see packages on the shelf that scream heart healthy or low fat. But here is the truth. Your liver and your pancreas do not have eyes. They cannot read the marketing on the cardboard box. They only react to chemistry. When you eat that healthy fruit on the bottom yogurt, you might think you are making a good choice, but your body just sees a massive rush of sugar. It triggers an insulin spike almost identical to what you would get from a candy bar. The warden rushes in, locks the doors, and the fat stays on your waistline. It's not about calories. It's about the hormone signal you are sending with every bite. So, how do we fire the warden and unlock the prison? We need a blueprint based on one guiding principle: don't poke the bear. Think of your pancreas as a sleeping bear. Every single time you eat, whether it's a full meal or just a handful of grapes, you are poking that bear. You wake it up, and it roars back by pumping out insulin. Our goal is to let the bear sleep. We need to shift you from a lifestyle of chronic grazing to a lifestyle of compressed eating. Here are the 3 steps to make that happen starting tomorrow. Step 1 is the Savory Start Protocol. This is non-negotiable. You must eliminate the sweet breakfast. In America, we've been trained to treat breakfast like a dessert. muffins, sugary cereals, and orange juice. That is an insulin disaster. Instead, I want you to anchor your day with protein and healthy fats. Think savory, 3 eggs with spinach, or even a piece of leftover steak from dinner. When you eat protein and fat first thing in the morning, your blood sugar remains stable, the bear stays asleep, and you don't get that crash at 2 p.m. Step 2. Close the kitchen between meals. We are going for zero snacking. If you eat your savory breakfast at 8 a.m., and then you grab a healthy oat bar at 10 a.m., you have failed. You just poked the bear again. By snacking, you never allow your insulin levels to drop back down to the baseline. You never give your body the all-clear signal to switch from storing energy to burning it. You have to get comfortable with the space between meals. That is where the magic happens. Step 3 is a physiological hack, the 10-minute post-meal walk. This is one of the most powerful tools available, and it costs nothing. Immediately after your biggest meal of the day, go for a 10-minute walk. Here is the science. When your large leg muscles contract, they activate a transporter called GLUT4. Think of GLUT4 as a back door into your cells. It sucks glucose out of your bloodstream and into your muscles without needing insulin to open the gate. You are essentially manually lowering your blood sugar and sparing your pancreas from doing the heavy lifting. Finally, I want to give you a tool to track your progress, because the scale can be misleading. Stop looking at BMI. Instead, use the waist-to-height ratio. Grab a tape measure and measure your waist right at the level of your belly button. Then take that number and divide it by your height. You want that result to be 0.5% or lower. If your number is higher than 0.5%, it is a strong biological indicator that you are carrying too much visceral fat and likely suffering from insulin resistance. That number is your new target. We have covered the mechanism and the solution, but now we have to bulldoze a massive obstacle that stands between you and your results. It is a myth that has been repeated by fitness magazines and snack companies for decades, and it has likely sabotaged your efforts for years. You have probably been told that to lose weight, you need to stoke your metabolic fire by eating 6 small meals a day. You've been told that if you don't eat every few hours, your body will go into starvation mode and hoard fat. I am here to tell you that this is scientifically dead wrong. In fact, it is the exact opposite of the truth. This grazing advice is based on a misunderstanding of something called the thermic effect of food, the tiny amount of energy your body uses to digest a meal. But here is the math that the snack companies don't show you. Burning 10 calories to digest a 200-calorie granola bar is a terrible trade-off if that same granola bar spikes your insulin. Remember our Insulin Warden? When you graze, you are keeping that warden on duty 24/7. You are keeping your body in a chronic state of storage. You are never allowing your digestive system to rest, and you are never allowing your insulin to drop low enough to switch on the fat-burning machinery. You aren't stoking a fire, you are flooding the engine. By constantly eating, you are training your body to be dependent on incoming sugar, rather than teaching it to be self-sufficient by burning its own fat. Now, before you rush off to start this Savory Start Protocol, I need you to pause and listen to a critical medical warning. This is not a disclaimer I'm reading just to be safe. This is about your physiology. If you are currently taking medication for type 2 diabetes, especially insulin injections or sulfonylureas, or if you are on medication for high blood pressure, specifically diuretics, you must consult your doctor before you change your diet. Here is the science of why. Insulin has a secondary job we rarely talk about. It tells your kidneys to hold on to salt and water. When you have high insulin, you are puffy and retaining water. When you start eating a savory breakfast and cut the sugar, your insulin levels will drop naturally. When insulin drops, your kidneys get the signal to release that excess water and sodium. This is a great thing. It's why people lose that bloated look in the first week. However, it also means your blood volume changes. If you are taking a strong diuretic or blood pressure med, and your body naturally lowers its own pressure, the medication might suddenly become too strong. You could risk dangerous low blood pressure, dizziness, or fainting. It's not that the diet is dangerous, it's that the diet is working so well, your medication needs to be adjusted down. You are healing, so keep your doctor in the loop. With that safety check in place, I want to leave you with a vision of what is possible. This journey isn't just about shrinking your waistline. It is about something much more valuable, food freedom. Think about how much mental energy you spend fighting cravings. Think about that food noise in your head that starts screaming at 2:30 p.m. That isn't you being weak. That is your biology screaming for glucose because it forgot how to burn fat. When you switch to the Savory Start and compressed eating, something magical happens around day 3 or 4. The noise stops. You will look at the clock and realize it's 1 p.m., and you haven't even thought about food yet. You will walk past the donut shop and feel nothing, no willpower required. That is what we call metabolic flexibility. You are no longer a slave to the next sugar fix. You are a machine that runs efficiently on its own reserves. So, I have one simple challenge for you. Do not try to change your entire life overnight. Do not worry about what you're eating for dinner next week. I just want you to win the first hour of tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, take the one thing challenge. Commit to the savory breakfast. If you usually have oatmeal with brown sugar, throw it out. If you usually grab a bagel, walk away. Instead, fry up 3 eggs in real butter. Have some bacon. Eat an avocado with salt and pepper. Have leftovers from dinner. Just make sure it is savory, protein-heavy, and fat-rich. Then, go about your day. I want you to observe your energy levels like a scientist. Pay attention to how you feel at 2000 p.m. You will notice that the crash is gone, replaced by a steady, calm focus. You are not a victim of your genetics, and you are not a victim of your age. You are the architect of your own biology. If this video helped you decode the signals your body has been sending you, please hit that like button. It helps us get this information to the people who need it. And I want to start a conversation in the comments below. Tell me, what is the one health food item that you have been eating dutifully for years that you now suspect is the villain in your story? Is it the orange juice, the bran muffin, the agave syrup? Let's expose these Trojan horses together in the comments. I'm rooting for you. I'll see you in the next video.